Nico, the perfect ending to a great 3 points this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a well-earned, hard-earned 3 points. I had to actually go at them a little bit at half-time for the first time I've been in, really, in the sense that it felt like they were waiting for something to happen. I think things were a little bit flat after the first 5 minutes, where I think we started quite well and we got on the front foot. We talked about that because our starts haven't been good enough. But it just felt, we reacted really well to the goal. Obviously, when you score, but we got on the front foot straight away, which was great. But for most of that half, it just felt like they were just waiting for something to go against them, maybe, rather than making it happen. And they're good players in that dressing room. So second half, I think they gave a fist of it in that sense. I think they got on the front foot. They tried to play forward. They tried to up the tempo. And yeah, there's no better feeling than a last-minute goal in front of that lot, and everybody goes crazy. So yeah.
It certainly made a difference having Czech Diabate back today. The whole back line just seemed far more structured, more confident. It allowed spaces to open up elsewhere on the pitch. It basically is what we've been missing for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, Czech's just a very good player who's matured incredibly well over a short period of time. And you can see in his performance, he plays like somebody that's played hundreds of games. He's in control and he's very comfortable with space behind him. He backs himself to get there. So what that does is bring confidence around the rest of the back three to stay up, and then in turn everything's a little bit tighter in front of them, so the midfield players can get tighter and the strikers can go and put some pressure on their guys. And I thought he did really well. I don't think there's any issues with him coming off. I think it was fatigue more than anything else. For a young man to come back after 4, 5, 6 weeks out and play 80 minutes to the level that he just did is testament to him, testament to Max and Connor, the S&C guys that have worked with him, and Gaz Law, who's obviously done an incredible job to get him back in such good condition.
Fleetwood's goal came, well, it was a wild deflection really, unfortunate, obviously wrong-footed Jamal, but you spoke about instant response, great ball from Giovanni through to Sam, great cross, and then a great feeling for Jay to grab his first goal here.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate in my time kind of doing this, that I've been here for his first goal, obviously away at Barnsley, and now I've been here for his first goal here. He's such a good lad, he's such a hard-working, down-to-earth, loves football kind of guy, and it's obviously quite emotional when he gets to score here and get that feeling, and again you finish it off with at the end of the game with the winner after some unbelievable work from Josh Key, who again, great credit to him to come back from being ill and still have it in his legs to go and do that in the last minute. So great stuff, good day all round.
I think myself and Scott probably summed up why we don't actually play football with that late goal. Josh had the ball on the right hand side and we were both thinking, what are you doing, Josh? What are you doing, Josh? What are you doing? And then he goes and does that a sublime cross.
Yeah, it's just great skill, we know that's his position, we know that's where he does most of his damage, and he's done an incredible job stepping in and having to be a centre half for a little while. It's great testament to him as an intellectual footballer that he can play in multiple positions and be effective doing it, because I thought defensively he was excellent. He covered round, nobody got past him. It wasn't just getting there and kicking it off the pitch. He made the right decisions when he had to defend ugly, and other times when he could turn out and keep possession. So he's a very, very good player, and what he did at the end is the kind of thing that you really want him in those positions more than you want him as a centre half.
At times in the second half it did feel a bit flat. It didn't feel like we were getting enough shots away. You spoke about Fleetwood's aggression before the game, and we certainly saw that today, made it difficult to stop us from getting those shots away.
They're a solid League One team. I think League One is probably broken up into kind of 3/8, where you've got probably 8 teams near the top who are resource-wise, budget-wise, player-wise, fan-base-wise, are just a championship club ready and waiting, or championship clubs that have dropped down. You've got a middle 8 who are fighting it out, and that's what we're striving to be, and seeing if we can then push on further. And then you've got a bottom 8 who are punching above their weight, and I think we probably went into that category when we came up, and we're making a better fist of it right now. If you could have a look at the camera there, that's Scott Simmons trying to stay quiet. And Scotty, you actually caused more of an issue by trying to stay quiet than if you'd have just gone back. At least I'm teaching those 18s good habits. It was. I think we would have liked to have seen more shots getting off in the second half, but at the same time I think that was probably down to Fleetwood getting bodies in the way and the players trying to pick that final pass to get the shot off. So credit to them. they're a solid League One side. They know how to play, they know what they're good at, and they just continue to do that throughout. And my issue, more in the first half than the second, if I'm being honest, was I just felt that we let them dictate the tempo. We allowed them to play their game rather than us being on the front foot, us lifting the tempo, us playing the ball forward and exciting the crowd. I think we probably got a bit more in the second half. We can certainly play better, there's no two ways about it. I'd definitely say we played better at Charlton and we came off losing the game. So it's a funny old game, as somebody once said, and I'm glad that we came out the right side of it today.
I suppose it doesn't really matter when you've got 3 points, but at times today I was wondering what actually was a foul and what wasn't. The ref seemed to let a lot go.
Yeah, no, I spoke to the fourth official. I watched a game on telly the other day and they were talking about that, the Liverpool-Man City game, and the commentators were talking about it there, and I think it is kind of the new norm, and you can't have it both ways. We've all been asking for it to be a bit more physical and a bit more competitive, but yeah, it probably needs to be articulated to us a little bit clearer, because there were times where if I'd have had hair, I'd have pulled it out on the side. But I quite like it for the most part. I'm sure if I was a neutral sat in the stand and watching with no vested interest either way, I probably think this was great, and I kind of enjoyed the Liverpool-Man City game for it. When you're on the side and you're pushing for 3 points and you're thinking that that's a foul and it's not being given, not as enjoyable, if I'm honest.
You spoke on Tuesday night after the Forest Green game about how the players need some stability and an understanding of the recruitment process of the new manager. Judging by the statement the club have put out yesterday, it seems that we're very close to that decision being made, and perhaps that stability will come before the next two games, because Derby and Plymouth are two huge matches. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's great credit to the club to have been as patient as what they've been in making sure that they go through due process. They've not left any stone unturned. They've got a really good history of appointing the right guy, and they've certainly made sure that they give themselves the opportunity to do it now. But I would be surprised if I was stood here chatting to you guys again going into next week.